Since the conflict started, we stepped up as an organization to start helping the displaced Syrian inside and outside Syria and providing adequate health care to these people who unfortunately were in areas that were unable to access health care.
SAMS, as it was before the revolution and after the revolution, is two totally different organizations, although it's the same name. After the revolution, we had millions of people who were affected, millions who were displaced, and so how quick they were able to organize themselves, to be able to try and attempt to meet the needs of internally and externally displaced Syrians was amazing.
I'm very grateful for SAMS for allowing me the opportunity to work with some colleagues to establish the Nutrition and Pharmacy Committee to address specifically the needs within the pharmacy of the Zaatari refugee camp and to provide better access to medication and to nutritional supplementation that could make a difference in terms of the lives and the health of the refugees in Zaatari.
I went to Zaatari knowing that SAMS, providing for the medical need of refugees, had become the lead organization both outside and inside Syria, going places where people don't go. I had been inspired by the bravery of some of these great physicians, people who have risked their lives to help those who have no one else helping them.
I've always wanted to visit the Zaatari camp and give back, and SAMS seemed like a very good opportunity to do that. I didn't know how many people were helping and how many people were involved in the Syrian cause, especially on the medical side, which I think is a very wonderful thing, especially because being a doctor in Syria in specific is a very dangerous and difficult thing. And so I have a lot of respect for everyone who's working with SAMS.
So as an endocrinologist, I think one of the biggest needs there is medication. So to have insulin would be nice. Also, I saw many children with short stature, failure to thrive, and other growth abnormalities. And it's really heartbreaking to have to tell a parent that part of this is due because of nutritional deficiencies and they need to eat better food. It was very heartbreaking to see what food is available there in the little markets that line the streets of Zaatari.
This was the first time I was really confronted with widespread malnutrition. I would see many families coming in every day, and I would look at the children and I'd ask their families, how old are these children? Children who appeared to be 10 years old, they would tell me, oh, they're 13, 14, 15. When I would ask these families what their kids were eating, the answers were always the same. Lots of carbs, no proteins, and that has irreversible consequences upon our child's growth and physical development.
Things has changed over years, especially with the increase of number and increase of needs. First is they need a lot of education and nutrition status, what's a good, balanced diet should be. Second, medication to be used or resources to be used for preventive medicine, make sure their immunization is up to date, put a lot of effort on providing contraceptive options. To have a better family planning.
In terms of specialists, mental health specialists play an important role in this conflict. The number of children that you see with PTSD over there, all kinds of manifestations. It could be them having anxiety. It could even be them having bedwetting. We notice that a lot in children over there who have absolutely no urological problems before that, and all of a sudden they're bedwetting.
So in terms of personnel and specialties, what we need right now, we need psychiatrists, dentist, surgeon, plastic surgeon particularly, and female OB/GYN doctors. They get one day here, one day there, but there's a lot of need to have staffing available almost all the time and all these specialties available.
There's a need for more doctors to be willing to go on these trips so there can be continuity and provide services for the people that are there. But there's clearly a need for more money to be put into to support the doctors that are there. The doctors that are there don't get any break unless groups like SAMS go in there to give them a break. So there's a need for many more doctors and professionals to do this.
One of the things that really stood out to me, it's not really related to the clinic in specific, but it was one of the happiest moments that we had during the trip, and it's when we were having a tour of the camp. There were girls there playing soccer, and they asked us to join them and play soccer with them, and they were younger. They were like around 10 years old, and they beat all of us, and they were so much fun. It kind of summarizes the whole trip, because for me or for other students, when we have some bad incident, we just get so sad over nothing. And I went to the camp, and these little girls, they're living in a desert, and they're so happy, and they're making the best of it, and they want us to come and join them and play with them. That really changed my views on a lot of things.
I think it was our last day. We ended up observing school. Some of the dentists went in and conducted education about proper dental hygiene. So to me, that was encouraging because they are doing some good work with the children. They have school, they're focusing on that. That was encouraging. I also saw a lot of playful children. There was one boy in particular who had a bike, and he was riding people around in his basket and still being playful.
This was one of the most, if not the most gratifying thing that I've done professionally. And the last night we were there, we went out to dinner, and Dr. Samra came up to me and was showing me pictures of a young man that the surgeons had worked on that day, and showed me some of the before and after pictures. It was just incredible. And I just said to him that I felt honored to be able to see the work he did. And he looked me in the eye and he said, "No, you don't understand." He said, "What you did, well, you came here, you gave of your time and your money, and you validated their existence." And that has stayed with me throughout my time there, as well as coming back here. And so part of what I have done is to try to get this story out, to talk about what's happening with the Syrian refugees, particularly about the Zadri camp and about SAMS and what SAMS has done.
The best feeling that I ever had in all my experiences, in medical missions, was when I prescribed a reading glass to an elderly woman who, when she has the biggest smile on her face. It was me, a nephrologist, and a cardiologist, and we had an attorney with us. And we were, sitting there prescribing reading glasses. And that's the best thing. The instant gratification that I got from that was amazing. I don't get that in my practice. You give them prescription, you do things, and you don't know whether after a week or what have you, they're going to feel better or not. But that was immediate, and that smile I will never forget.
I watched the crisis in Syria, on the news in general, and, really just felt helpless. Sometimes just wonder why the world isn't intervening more. So I left feeling really grateful to have worked with such beautiful people. And I also left really wanting to do more and really feeling a little more motivated to get the world to intervene.
Everybody can educate themselves about what refugees are going through, and then talk about that with friends at work, on social media. You can look into ways that you can give, and I believe SAMS is a great place to give because they are actively working in the camp to meet the needs of these people. Then they're working within Syria as well to train doctors and meet the healthcare needs of people there. So everybody can give money, whether it's $5, $100, whatever, to help support if you can't go.
There's a big need in pediatrics, psychiatric, social workers. Really, the list is so long. Anybody in the allied health fields can really make a tremendous difference in terms of volunteerism, and also contributions, monetary contributions to the organization can be really helpful in order to help projects such as the Amal project really get off the ground and really make a difference in the lives of these refugees.
I'm supremely proud to be a member of this organization, and the one thing I knew when I left was that I would be coming back. And the only thing I would hope is that one day I'm going to be coming back, and it will be because the situation will be how I've improved, and I'll be looking at what SAMS has done to help and end the crisis.